Hey Michelle, thank you so much for ordering this reading from me. I had so much fun drawing these cards up and doing the spread. So I had shuffled off screen and drew up all the cards. And just to save us a little bit of time, because my shuffling can be a little bit time consuming, I like to take my time and really feel the energies and, you know, really get into it. But yeah, so we have the spread here. I'm actually going to show you. I also wanted to say thank you so much for ordering this reading from me. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I am really excited to get into this reading. There are so many different energies and things going on in this reading that it's like a little incredible. So we are going to dive right into this. So for your Angel Therapy card, as your first card, we have Visualize Success, and it says, see yourself doing well in this situation and have faith in a positive outcome. So I feel like there are two messages with this card. I feel like one of them is saying, obviously with Visualize Success, we're talking about, law of attraction. We're talking about bringing in things we want, manifesting it. Your angels are saying, if you want to bring this to you sooner, manifest it and work with the law of attraction to bring this to you sooner. I feel like you're going to want to manifest this in a healthy time, though. You don't want to just manifest this and then it's like, bam, boom, it's here tomorrow. Or, perhaps even maybe this person already, but, just manifest a healthy relationship. Go for affirmations such as, I am open to a healthy reciprocating relationship. I am open to giving and receiving unconditional love. You can say these affirmations as much as you want every day, throughout the day even. Whenever you get a break, you can even say these affirmations again and again. Affirmations are really interesting because they're scientifically proven that if we tell ourselves something enough, we will begin to believe it. And that is the whole point of affirmations, is so that we replace some of our more negative or down thoughts, like Debbie Downer thoughts, I meant to say. They are kind of like, they weigh us down and they make us feel really sad, and so we want to be, not a Debbie Downer, but maybe a happy Harriet. There we go. And with being a happy Harriet, we have to really embody everything that happiness is, that is telling ourselves that we look beautiful that day, telling ourselves that we are deserving of love and we are worthy of love, telling ourselves that we are incredible people, because we are, these are all truths. And, it takes us a while sometimes for us to even understand that, but it will help in the law of attraction as well for you to do affirmations for yourself and just to visualize not only this partnership going well, and to visualize a partnership coming into your life and really sweeping you off your feet, but also to visualize your own success as well. You may even visualize the two of you in a partnership going out and making money together, maybe being very successful in business matters and then going after things you want together, perhaps pursuing, maybe you guys are going to want to go on vacations together and trips together. Maybe the two of you will take up like scuba diving or skydiving. I feel like more like scuba diving or as opposed to skydiving, but I mean, hey, whatever you guys are up to, whatever you guys like, go for it. But really, genuinely, imagine yourself and imagine this person. You don't even have to imagine like, facial features or anything like that. You can just imagine their energy and imagine their shape or their form next to you. But yeah, make sure that you have faith that everything is going to pan out and everything is going to be okay. Definitely work on doing law of attraction and doing subliminals even, because those will also help. Those are wonderful in order to speed up the process, and those also just can help us to attain more success, to attain more perhaps a clear mind, and you can even do these while you sleep, but make sure that you're also eating, enough fruits and vegetables, and also make sure to keep hydrated, because that's going to be very, very important, especially if you do decide to bring subliminals into your life. That requires a lot of water because your brain is working to process the subliminals. So make sure to really adjust to that and to really just feel your body. And if you're feeling tired, go to bed. That sort of a thing. To be successful, you have to feel successful, and to feel successful, you have to feel good. You have to feel good about yourself. You have to feel good about where you are, especially like emotionally. You have to feel well rested. A lot of successful people tend to take naps during the day. Is a very interesting thing. Naps are wonderful. They are good little buffers for us, almost, for throughout the day. So if you can take little naps, especially on the weekends or when you have free time, maybe popping on a subliminal as well will help to draw in this relationship and to maybe even make it a little bit healthier, because there is a little bit of challenging energy down here. Now, that isn't to say that every relationship doesn't have problems, because every relationship does. I think it would be a little scary if you were in a relationship and it was just like everything was good all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's a little weird, but I think if someone was always smiling at me and always like, gee, honey, you're the best. They cook me dinner every night and I never have to do anything. Like, what's the fun in life? You know what I'm saying? So definitely enjoy the process and enjoy the steps that it takes to get there. But also know that when hardships arise, it's not going to be kind of the end of the world. You guys can definitely work on that with communication and just with working together, because I feel like this person has been through a lot of stuff in their life. We're going to get into that with these next cards. But I feel like this person has definitely been through a lot in their life. They're very resourceful. They're very smart. But yeah, they tend to be a little bit scared, I think, about starting new things just because they've had a lot of things happen to them in the past. So for qualities for them, we have 4 cards for their Animal Guides cards, and these are just qualities and traits that they might have, and that they you can usually sense out in them, usually on a day-to-day basis. So with Goose, it says, take time to rest and recuperate rather than continue your striving. So I think for a long time, there was someone who maybe when they tried to visualize success for them, they were someone who thought that they had to go all in. They were someone who felt that they had to really run themselves ragged and run themselves dry in order to attain this success or obtain this happiness. But that's not necessarily how it is at all. The universe doesn't want you killing yourself over something, because by the time you receive that fortune, by the time you receive that happiness, you're going to be so burnt out that all you're going to want to do is sleep. So the whole point of Goose is just to take the time to regroup and to get maybe a nap in, and to just be happy and with where you are currently, because we all need time to relax. We all need time to just stop, because if we were going all the time, everyone would be so grumpy. No one would have any sleep. No one would be like, it would just be a miserable world. So this person is definitely someone who likes to take it easy. They're someone who likes to take their time with situations, and they're probably someone who maybe takes naps, They're probably someone who, even on the weekends, maybe they like to stay indoors and stay inside. They're someone who they will go on adventures, and, maybe they even like motorsports or things like that. Maybe they really like cars, or they really like boats. They don't have to, but I don't know, that's just like the vibe I'm getting. But they very much like the idea of just staying in and taking a nap and maybe watching some TV, popping some popcorn, maybe even going out, getting some fast food or something. I feel like this is someone who's very, very laid back in that sense, to where maybe they're up here it says they're a very great cook. So it's almost like maybe they're the type of person who, even if you don't like fast food, it's something to that extent, to where they'll cook, but on nights that they don't want to cook and you don't want to cook, they're the type of person that's like, hey, I will buy us food. Like, I don't want to go to the effort of cleaning the kitchen. I don't want to go to the effort of doing all that. And, maybe we're both sick or something along those lines. We don't feel good. Let's just go out to dinner, or let's just order takeout and I'll run out and grab it, and that's a lot easier for them, because then they can eat that in front of the TV, or, they can even sit at the table and you guys can do a puzzle or something. I don't know, but this is definitely a homebody energy. This is someone who, will have an adventurous side, but they definitely like to, after a long, stressful week, especially at work, they like to be with the people that they love and the people that bring them comfort, and also their own things, because they get a lot of comfort in the fact that they have afforded themselves nice things. Like, maybe they have a chair that they really like, or like a couch that they really like, and they were the ones that bought it, and it's kind of like they want to get their money's worth. They want to get their use out of it. And maybe it's a little strange, but they might have a job that requires them to walk long distances, or just kind of an intensive job. So it might be that they come home and they're like, yes, my favorite couch that I bought with my money from my job that tires me. So, they're really proud, and I think that's really beautiful. I think it's wonderful that they're very proud of their accomplishments, but they do understand that they do need their rest, and they can't just be like going all the time like the Energizer Bunny. That just isn't a thing for them. So, on to the next card for them, we have Weasel, and it says, be silent, pay attention, and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. So, this is very interesting, because weasels, I see them as very cute, very, sneaky. They tend to like to collect things, so that makes me think of them. Maybe they like to collect little trinkets or things like that they deem their treasures, or that they deem valuable to them. Maybe they're the type of person who collects maybe movie memorabilia or t-shirts, or they definitely collect something. But with the message, I feel like they are someone who, they don't speak to be heard. They get into conversations to listen. They aren't just talking to talk. They're talking to also listen to the other person that they're having a conversation with, and I think especially with the resting, I think that they know that their energy is valuable. And if someone's going to go to all the work of taking up the majority of the conversation, they're going to just listen and understand and nod their head and kind of appreciate that, because they might also be someone who's not really a talker. They might be someone who is a little bit quiet, a little bit reserved or shy when you first meet them as well. Yeah. But I definitely think that they're going to be very, very playful and very fun. They're going to be someone that you want to spend a lot of your time with, just because they do pay attention and they put things into their mental bank. So if you were to say like, hey, my favorite candy is Snickers and my favorite ice cream is like pistachio or mint chip or whatever, they're going to remember that, and they're going to bring that to you. They're going to take you to maybe an ice cream shop and then point at the cashier and be like, hey, I want to get this. And they're going to name your ice cream, your favorite ice cream, and your favorite cone type. And maybe even you like the chocolate sprinkles instead of like rainbow or something. They're going to remember the little details because they've listened and because they've really taken into account, especially if they're with someone that they really love and they appreciate. They want to remember little details so that they have ideas of what to give them for birthdays or holidays or anything like that. They like having gift ideas and they like knowing what to give people. I think it drives them a little batty not to know people, or, especially the people in their life that they spend the most time with, because really you are the main 3 to 5 people that you hang out with. You mirror a lot of their qualities. And I think that this person takes that into account, that birds of a feather flock together, weasels of a fur get together. No, that's why that wasn't a quote. Okay, but anyway, they definitely like to be alert as well. I think that this is someone who is very safe. I think that they like having a very high safety meter, I guess you could say. I think this is the type of person who, when they go into a restaurant or maybe even like a playhouse or anything like that, they're always looking for the fire escape. They're always looking for different things because they're very prepared. This might just be an energy of they're very analytical as well. So they like to know where things are just in case something were to happen. So that it's definitely someone that you would want on your side if something bad were to happen, because they can spring into action as well, and they can really help people and get the job done. So for their next card, we have Manatee, and it says, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. So this person is very laid back. They go with the flow. If there's something that's been bothering them, if there's a problem that they really need a solution to, they're going to just accept it as it is. They're not the type of person who's going to fight to change it. They're not going to try to change it or try to do anything that sways the situation or manipulates it. They're very just okay with being where they are. I think they're just happy to be alive in that sense, that they're just like floating along, and sometimes they stop and eat the kelp, and sometimes, they just float along. Sometimes the boats come along and hit them, but this person, your future partner, is just very go with the flow. Like, I don't think that they get mad at people very often. I think that they sometimes could have a very heated energy if it came down to it, but for the most part, they're a very, very relaxed person, very, very chill. They're the type of person who just isn't going to care. There's drama going on, and someone's like, you gotta choose between me or my, or you gotta choose between me or you gotta choose between like your antique plants or something, and they're just like, okay, bye. They don't want the drama. They don't want the heartache or the headache or anything like that. They're very just chill. I don't even know how to describe it other than just they're very chill. They're the type of person who there could probably be a problem going on, and they're just kind of like, I'm just gonna walk away and that'll be that, and but they have a very healing energy to them as well with the water energy here. Yeah. So for their last card, we have Rattlesnake, and it says, the experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. So definitely this person is definitely a healer or has healing qualities to them. They're the type of person who you can go to because they don't hold grudges. They aren't the type of person to be petty about things or salty. They're just they mind their own business. They go with the flow, and they just want to live life. That's all they want to do. They don't want any of the extra baggage, any of the extra worry or anything like that. They just want to live, and they just want to be happy. And that's really admirable. They just want to continue on in life because they've had experiences in the past that have really run them ragged, like with Goose, and it's really been some hardships. And they could even right now, or when you meet this partner, they could be experiencing some kind of hardship, especially since we have the tower down here. There could be some kind of a falling out in their life, or, their life is just restarting over. It could even be some form of a death in their family. But it's going to be something that really shakes them up. So they are going to have a lot of different experiences and a lot of learning through this as well as they overcome their grief or as they overcome any challenges that are associated with this. I feel like they're the type of person who has had quite a few hardships in their life. If the tower is coming up as an energy of theirs, I feel like maybe that's just something that has always continuously happened to them. Like maybe they can't seem to find the right job or the right partnership or something. They just can't seem to create that stable foundation. I think the problem here, I know we're going right to this, and I'm still talking about this, but it fits in. I think the problem here is that your future partner keeps building this castle with this big metal crown on top, and it's like lightning. You're attracting lightning with this big metal crown as a roof, and you're burning down your entire castle each and every time. And it's probably just because of a stupid little thing like that. Like, there's just something going wrong. And at that point, maybe it might even be on their end that there's some form of maybe they can't emotionally commit, maybe they aren't. We'll get more into that. But anyway, with that, they have to learn how to heal from that, and they have to learn how to translate that into a better energy so that they can become a healer and they can help people. Because you really need to help yourself as well. Before, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, but you need to try to work on yourself and help yourself before you can try to help others more, because this person does get run ragged. They might be the type of person who does also help others. So now is the time for them to really work on themselves, because they are a healer. They have a wonderful energy about them. They might be the type of person who they can put their hand on you when you have a headache or when you're having just like a muscle pain or something, and it will go away. That's just the energy that they bring. It's their chakra going into your body and everything else, like just the life force, just entering you. And yeah, it's just beautiful. They have a very, very good energy about them, and they have very, very good manners. I feel like they're very well mannered. So moving on to down here, and then I will get up to these, but since we already started here, I want to get more into it. So like I was saying, the tower is a main energy here for their personality, what their personality is like. So maybe it could even be that they're constantly changing. They're constantly trying to figure out who it is that they are, who it is that they want to be, and what it is that works for them, because maybe they haven't found what works for them yet. We have the Six of Pentacles here, which obviously shows that they're very giving. They're very open to the idea of reciprocity. They're probably the type of person who donates, or if they see someone on the street that's a little down on their luck, they're probably going to hand them money or, help them out in whatever way they can that day. They're a very caring person, and they're very non-judgmental in that sort of a sense, but they have a hard time going towards things that they're passionate about, because I think they don't really know what they're passionate about. And I don't mean to laugh, because I know that energy. That's a very, it's just a very like fluid energy of you don't know where to go. So it might be a little confusing, and that's definitely why the tower is here, because it could be that this person knows deep down what it is that they're very passionate about, what it is that they want to do, but they just haven't had the opportunity or the means to do it, or maybe they just haven't discovered that yet for themselves. But they're going to, they're very brilliant. They're very wonderful. They're very bright. We have a lot of bright colors. I mean, obviously, except for the tower, but they're very very stable energy as well. And I think that they're the type of person who definitely helps out their friends. Yeah, they definitely like children as well. Like, not in a weird way, but they're just genuinely a good person. I think that they'd give you the shirt off of their back if you needed it. I think that they are just genuinely good-hearted. They just have been through a lot, and they're not, maybe they've been through so much that they're not necessarily sure who they are or where they have to go. But they're going to heal from this, and they're going to move on. And I think even with you coming into their life, you might really push them towards kind of knowing what it is that they want to do. That sort of a vibe. But moving on, we have the Knight of Wands. So it's almost like maybe they're a little wishy-washy. Maybe they know what it is that they're passionate about, and maybe they've pursued it. Like, maybe they want like a professional bowling career or something, but they only bowl like once every three months. So it's kind of like, how are you going to get on a bowling league, my good dude? You know, so they might be a little wishy-washy and a little bit unsure of themselves. Also, I'm using like masculine energies, but you could also be, with a female, of course, as well. I'm just picking up on a lot of like fiery masculine energies in this read. So I'm using like those kinds of pronouns. I hope you don't mind. But yeah, definitely this person is someone who goes towards their passions, though, once they realize what they are. And I feel like they're the type of person who's they're very, very passionate. You know, they go towards the things that they want, and they're very confident in themselves. They're very confident. I think that they know that in the future they're going to be very successful, and they're going to know what they want to do, and they're going to know every little bit of themselves. I think that they already feel like this as well, but it's a work in progress, because do you see how it goes from a Knight of Wands into a King of Wands? It's almost like they're still growing. You know, I know that we all are still growing. Every single day we grow and we learn new lessons and things like that. Our journey is never fully complete. But you know, this is a dramatic change. This is a good change. It's maturing. It's almost like when he realizes what this passion is, or whatever it is that they want to pursue, they're going to go towards that full force and like an adult. You know, it's not going to be this wishy-washy kind of teenager-y energy of, I'll do this one day and then maybe not the next day, or maybe I'll do it that day and then I'll forget about it for 5 months. And, you know, so maybe it would even help it, you know, with you encouraging this person, like, hey, you know, you can really do your best, you know, because I feel like this person is going to encourage you too. I feel like there's a lot of sensual energy as well with the Ace of Wands, but that's not what they look for in a relationship. They don't want a relationship that's just like all intimacy or anything like that and not any kind of emotions. I think they might also be the type of person who would be completely okay with, paying for the majority of the things that you go on, just because we have the Six of Pentacles here. So there's someone who doesn't mind paying out maybe for dates or things like that, just because they want you to feel happy and they want you to have the best and they want you to be feeling good. So this person could definitely be a fire sign. We have definitely a lot of fire energy here. You know, so that would be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Definitely that energy. It could also be that they are a earth sign, but does not have to be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. So let's continue into this reading a little more. And I'm actually going to pull these up and continue with these. And then we'll get to the personalities. But yeah, so these next 3 cards are going to be the animal energy cards for your future partner. And these are just going to be talking about what kind of energies they bring out, and just like what kind of energies they utilize in their life, in the day-to-day lives, and things like that. So we have the Four of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Fool. So right off the bat with the Fool, this is someone who doesn't mind adventure. They don't mind starting fresh and starting new and hopping from one thing to another. We see that, you know, he has this wand that he has his little knapsack on. So it's kind of about, you know, he's completely fine with taking the bare minimum of what he needs in order to accomplish his goals. This is someone who is very much excited to start on any kind of new adventure or new endeavor. This might be, you know, being excited about starting maybe just new jobs or new hobbies or things like that. Definitely goes with the Knight of Wands energy. Not necessarily wishy-washy, but the idea of just going towards the things that you want and going towards them fast, and maybe not even necessarily thinking it through, just kind of going on the impulse and jumping to that. This is a very like youthful energy as well. This might be someone who, you know, is very childlike and kind of innocent in the way that they act as well with the grasshopper here, because he is very playful. He's very young. They can jump very, very high as well. So this might be someone who's very athletic. But continuing forward with the Four of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, like I said, this could be someone who is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, although it does not have to be. But this person is definitely someone who knows exactly what to do at the right time, like when the time is correct. Because with prairie dogs, not only are they very loyal to their families, they're very stable, they love the connections that they make with the other prairie dogs. They're actually one of the smartest little baby boys, that like basically existed, because they have their own language, and it's very specific to prairie dogs. It's a series of clicks and whines and body language, things like that. But it's incredible because they all can communicate, and every single group is different. Every single group has their own language specific to that colony. How impressive is that? How intelligent, how smart, and they are very family oriented. They will stand outside of their homes, outside of their burrows, and hug and kiss each other and just enjoy the day and feel the breeze on their fur and just be happy. But they're very resilient as well. They can go and dig themselves deep down into the earth when danger arises. They're someone who takes care of themselves and takes care of their family. They're very noble in that sense. I think they're someone that really does kind of still believe in chivalry. Because of the sword here especially, I just feel like that's someone who is going to want to pull your chair out for you, maybe open doors for you and pay the bill and just different little things like that. And, if it's something that you're not comfortable with, I think that they'll lay off of it, especially with the Four of Cups here with the octopus energy. It's just kind of like going with the flow, like the manatee energy. It's going with the flow and healing and just continuing on and very forward. But we have a lot of very intelligent animals here, so this person is very, very smart. They're very intelligent. They're very well read. This person could be going to university, or maybe are even considering going back or going to do that. But yeah, this person, family bonds are very important to them. Friend bonds are very important to them. But also they love a good sunny day. I feel like they just love a good sunny day. And what else? I feel like they are just very knowledgeable. Like this might be a type of person who when times are a little rough and a little crazy, like with the tower energy, they can tend to kind of seclude themselves as well, maybe go into their hole. But the people that they love the most, they are going to still talk to and still see and still make an effort there. So don't worry about that. So I'm actually going to go up here to these cards so we can go over features and things like that. So for features for them, we have blonde hair and brown hair. So the two of these together almost makes me feel like this person has dirty blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like there's a little bit of blonde and then a little bit of brown. Or maybe it's like their hair starts at the root as being very, very brown. And then when it grows out, it's a lot blonder and lighter and, things like that. I think that they might just have that really, really pretty, just dirty blonde hair though. So they are going to potentially be shorter than average, and this doesn't have to necessarily average, for men even, this can be shorter than average that you've dated. Maybe you're used to dating taller men, or maybe you're used to the idea of dating a taller man. So this is just the idea of dating someone maybe who is going to be the same height as you. And it could even be that maybe they aren't like really super duper tall, It isn't a bad thing to date someone who is a little shorter. The most amazing things come in small packages. I have to say, the most amazing dogs are Chihuahuas. Like, so loyal and so beautiful and just so perfect. Oh my gosh. So yeah, but they are going to be very sassy and a little childlike. I know I had picked up on that somewhere around here with the Fool, with the grasshopper energy. They're very childlike, but they can also be very sassy, and I think that they make jokes that can sometimes be a little bit come off as mean-spirited, but they mean it in good fun. I don't think that they mean anything bad by it. They're just the type of person who, when they get excited and they start having a really good time, they probably blurt out jokes that just are like a little like, ouch. Like, maybe they look at your shoes and they're like, what are those? And you're like, I saved up for these shoes. And they're like, oh. And so, yeah, it's just things like that. But they're going to have a very youthful way of looking at life and a very youthful way of doing things. They might always have a smile on their face and look like they're seeing things for the first time, which is really adorable. But yeah, they might also be a little immature as well at times, so definitely take their antics with a grain of salt. I don't think that they mean anything by it. I just think that they can be a little immature and a little silly. So they might also have rounded features, so not like sharp, not really sharp. You see how this King of Wands has rounded features in a sense? His cheeks are, slightly, let me see if I can... There you go. Everything is pretty rounded. Even his chin is a little rounded. So everything is good. Even his nose is round, and just that round energy. You know what I mean? Like, this could even be someone who's very, whatchamacallit, athletic in that sense, but their face is still very, round and maybe even a little chubby in areas, like his face. I don't think that it's going to be, like, I don't know. I definitely think that it's going to be, like, definitely like round chin, round nose, round cheeks, as opposed to sharp, because if we were to look at this Knight of Wands, he has a lot sharper features. See how his is just like sharp? It's still a little round, but I don't know. So, but you'll know him when you see him, especially with the rounded features. It might even be something that maybe he's a little self-conscious about, or they're a little self-conscious about, because it makes them have a little bit of a baby face. But I don't see that as a problem at all. I think that this is going to be a very sweet person. I think that this is going to be a very good person, and I think that you are going to help them as well with creating a stable foundation. I think that they'll want to create a stable foundation with you, in a partnership, a solid foundation, but they're, sometimes they can take a while to get around to it, just because they, like to be in that, like, more just passionate energy, as opposed to, like, the pentacles or cups, which is, like, stability or emotions and things like that. So to continue on, we also have go-getter. So this is someone who isn't afraid to go after the things that they want. They are always open to a challenge. I think that there's someone who can be a little competitive at times, to where, maybe even playing board games, they can get a little bit ferocious, or a little bit silly, or a little bit sassy even. That might be where their sassiness comes in. But there's someone who definitely might do anything to get on top or to better a situation. They're not the type of person to manipulate a situation, though. I'm not getting that at all. But they are very loud at times. I feel like maybe when you break through their shell, they're going to be very loud. It could even be that when they're in social situations and social settings, even with their friends, they can be very loud. And, maybe some people might even say that this person might be a little obnoxious, especially like maybe if they've been drinking. But they are just a good time. They just get a little rowdy. They just get a little loud, and they just raise their voice a little bit. But, if you remind them, use your inside voice, I think that it won't be as much of a problem. But they are very open-minded. They're not someone who's going to judge people or judge you, especially if you have, like, hobbies that maybe people have judged you for in the past, or, like, maybe people have been like, hey, you like knitting, that's for grandmas, just for instance. And this person is going to be like, hey, no, that's really cool. That's really neat. I can really appreciate that. I can get down to that, like, that's neat. And they're the type of person who, like I said, they will help people down on their luck because they're open-minded and because they understand that there's more to the story than everyone else can see. And they know that everyone has hardships, everyone has struggles, and everyone has been through some form of something that has changed them and maybe even profoundly changed them. But this is definitely someone who dresses well, and they might even come off a little bit as a player. Especially with the the Knight of Wands energy and the King of Wands energy. Knight of Wands can be a little bit, excuse my language, but he's a little bit of a fuckboy at times, But I don't get that energy from this person. I just think that maybe in the past they like to play the field, or maybe they like to date around, just because they wanted to see what would fit them. I think that they wanted to see if something would fit them, but like I said, they always decided not to because it was something that they just weren't passionate about. Or maybe they just didn't build it on a good enough foundation, like the tower, like each relationship they built, maybe they tried. Maybe they tried genuinely to have a good relationship, but it just wasn't built on a good, solid foundation. So they need to worry about, fixing that. I think that they are, but they can still come off as a little bit of a player just because they're so charming and they dress so well. I think that they also smell very good, and they're a great cook. So they have a lot to offer, and maybe people flock to them, especially people that, might want to date them or might want to have some sort of intimate interaction with them or something like that. But this person is definitely, they need someone who's going to bring not this Wands energy. I think that they need someone who's going to bring maybe some cups, maybe some pentacles, maybe it's just things like that. But I think that they need to, as far as relationships go, move into that. And I think that they will. I think that they want something traditional with you. I think that they want to follow tradition. They just don't know how to build a good foundation. It's just kind of beyond their expertise. But yeah, they're definitely someone who would not mind making you a nice meal if you said that you liked a meal in particular. So moving on to what your relationship is going to be like. This next row is a little bit of challenging energies, so make sure to bear with me. But yeah, because then this last row is going to be so incredible and magical and beautiful and just turn everything around. So like I said, every relationship has its hardships, and it would be weird if a relationship didn't. So yeah. But the Three of Pentacles is definitely saying that there's going to be quite a bit of work to be done. Even when you feel like you made a lot of progress in this relationship, you're going to look around and be like, but there's the rest of the church to be painted too. It's going to be kind of like oh no. But it's going to be fun, and it's going to feel very rewarding when you do put the work in and when you guys work together. I feel like you guys could definitely collab. Maybe you guys are both very creative individuals, and you both are going to not really experience a lot of hardship when it comes to money when the two of you are together. But I feel like you guys aren't going to be very formal with each other, which is good. You don't really want a relationship where you guys are walking on eggshells or being careful about what you say. I think it's going to be a very friendly bond. It's going to be something that starts out as just friendly banter even and things like that. And you're going to really understand after a while, oh man, I really like this person even. But it could be that you wait around for a while because we have the Seven of Cups, and I don't necessarily like this card. It could even be that maybe you already know this person. Maybe they're I don't really want to say an ex, but maybe even someone that you knew or that you liked in the past. It doesn't have to be, because I don't really see any other cards that show this other than this card. But yeah, take it as it resonates. But with the Seven of Cups, it's kind of like someone took their time and someone's taking their time. And, maybe that's the problem here, is that with this Knight of Wands energy, they have to mature into the King of Wands to know exactly what it is that they want, exactly what it is that they're passionate about before they can seek you out and say, hey, I want to date you, and then maybe make a marriage and, whatever else, adopt giraffes together, But you guys are going to have a very nonchalant, you guys can talk to each other about anything. I feel like even if there's trouble coming, or there's like, like a storm brewing between the two of you, or, maybe there's a little bit of an argument, I feel like you guys can be level-headed enough to pull each other aside and just talk it out. If you feel like you're waiting around for this person, like if in the future you meet this person and, you're putting work into the relationship and it's just not committing, like maybe he's not committing to you, maybe even vice versa, and maybe you feel like you're waiting because of this, because they just won't commit. You can go over and be upfront and be straightforward and be like, look, dude, I'm not waiting. You can decide whether or not that, what you want. I'll be here when you do decide, but I'm going to probably date around, or, like just something like to that effect. Even if you don't, just let them know, like, I'm not going to wait around forever until I'm a skeleton. Like, that's just not fair to me. It's not fair to anyone in the situation. So definitely be upfront and don't worry about what the outcome is, I know it can be really hard, especially when we really, really love someone, tough situations and tough conversations can be really, really hard, but it's something that we have to do in order to strengthen our bonds. So to sum up with these last 4 cards, or 5 rather, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the 3 of Pentacles, the Emperor, Strength, and the 9 of Hearts. Woohoo! Okay, so let's get right into it. So first of all, the Wheel of Fortune, it's talking about, now is your time of abundance. Now is your time of good luck, of good fortune, of happiness. The wheel is turning in your favor and it is now your time. There's going to be some sort of a change here, and it's going to be a divine change. Maybe it's just sort of like someone gets kicked in the butt by the universe and they're just sort of like, brain blast, I know what I want to do now. And there's going to be cooperation here, and probably even friends, maybe even helping out as well. But overall, I feel like this is going to be a very cooperative relationship as well. I feel like this is going to be something to where if the two of you can work together, the two of you can communicate well, and the two of you can be on the same wavelength on that sort of a level, you're going to get a lot of achievements and success out of this relationship, whether it just be in love or it also be financial. I feel like the two of you are going to achieve a lot and going to be very, very happy, very abundant, very fortunate for everything that you have and everything that you receive, because I feel like the two of you are very capable of being very, very successful people on your own. So together, just the idea of putting these already successful two beautiful people together, it would just automatically result in achievement. But you have to have strength, because this might be a little bit of a wait or a little bit of a journey to get here, to get to this kind of smooth sailing, we're cooperating, we're divinely put together, that sort of a situation, and it could even be that you both have to kind of let go of the situation, let go and let everything just be the way that it is. It's kind of like Manatee, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. Maybe that's how they are, so that they aren't very passionate, like, when it comes to situations as well, because maybe even romantically they feel like people are going to shoot them down. It's up to you to be strong as well. If this is someone that you want to wait around for and pursue, go for it, keep up with that and be in your strength as well. Definitely be in your strength, and don't worry about being vulnerable. I think that this person is someone who sees you as very, very beautiful and very very caring, because if we were to look at the card placement, it's like the Emperor is gazing over at the woman in the Strength card with so much adoration in his eyes, and he's just smitten, because he sees this woman, and she's, not only is she gorgeous, she's drop dead gorgeous, but she's also brave and compassionate. The fact that she's going up to this lion and daring to put this little crown on his head, and there's also an air of awe because the lion isn't attacking her back, and I think that your future partner really sees you as someone successful, really sees you as someone who knows what they're doing and knows what they want, and someone who's very compassionate, kind, and caring. And they see you as their ultimate wish fulfillment. I think together, since this last pile is still like what your relationship is going to be like overall, I think that this is going to be, obviously with the Nine of Hearts being a wish fulfillment and being the Nine of Cups as well in traditional tarot, you guys aren't going to have problems. The love is going to definitely be there. It's going to be so strong sometimes as well. And you both are really going to just feel like you have met your soulmate. You've met someone that you could spend the rest of your life with and be happy. Yeah, but you'll definitely both feel fulfilled within each other and within the relationship. And, almost like I feel like you guys will be very, very satisfied and just very happy and pleased with where you are. And they aren't going to mind, being in a partnership because they're going to see it more as a power couple as opposed to just sort of a bad relationship, that maybe they've had in the past. But they're willing to move on. And yeah, I think that this is going to be a very genuine, good relationship. They see you as someone who gives unconditional love and receives it. They see you as someone who's very loving as well. I just wanted to add that in there. And they see you as someone who works good with others. But for the main part, or for the main, overall, I think that you guys are going to be like partners in crime. I just think that you guys are going to be really good friends as well. And you guys you're going to know each other's inside jokes, and it's going to be wonderful. And you're going to balance each other out very beautifully and complement each other. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Thank you again so much, Michelle, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you watch this. And thank you again so much, and I hope to read for you again in the future. Let me know if you enjoyed this. If you did, you can always leave a review on my Etsy. It always helps so, so much. And yeah, just thank you again, and I will see you later. Bye!